Hello guys, I want to solve some problem on algebra. Let's see some of these questions that are very popular. Now, you say what? The expansion of 0.9998 is power 15 is approximately dash. What is what? This number? What I want to do is that you can write this number as 1 minus 0.002 all raised power 15. So you press your calculator now. Press calculator. 1 minus 0.0002 is equivalent to how many zeros should be? Okay. 1 minus 0.0002 is the same as what? 0.9998. To confirm it, just only the inside. 1 minus 0.0002 is 0.9998. So since this is what the same thing as this, to apply binomial expansion at its approximate value, we use this formula. If I have 1 plus what? Let's say x raised power n. So the approximate value of this one is equal to what? 1 plus what? Nx. That is the formula to apply. So that means in this case now, this is minus. So if you have minus plus or minus. So what I'm going to do now is to say 1 minus what? 15, which is the power n here, because the minus that is here, open bracket what? 0.0002. What will now be our value? Anything we get is an approximate value of equal to this particular one. Yes? Zero point one. Nine seven. Abi? Okay. That is it. That's question one. We want to solve the second question. He said if the first term of a GP is 16 and the first term, that means the first term is A, is of a GP is 16 and fourth term is 1/4. Compute the sum to infinity. Now what we want to do is simply interpret them one after the other. First term is equal to what? 16. Then don't forget that the n term normally is what we want? ARN minus 1. That is the formula to use for the n term of a GP. So this is the GP. Now the fourth term will now be what? If there is 4, then I have 4 minus 1, which is 3. So we have AR raised power what? For 4 term 3 is equal to what is the value? 1/4. And what we want to do now is we already have our A here to be equal to 16. Why not put it here and say 16 R raised power 3 equal to 1/4. And what? After doing that, what do you do? Multiply both sides by 1/16 to remove this, or divide both sides by 16 to make R cube the solution formula. So if you divide both sides by 16, both sides by 16, this will cancel this. So what we are left with now is what? R cube is equal to what? 1/4 times what? 1/16. Because we change division to multiplication. That is what will happen. Now, if you do that, you are going to have what as 1/64 is equal to R cube. Now, if you take cube of both sides now, R will now be equal to what? Cube root of what? Of both sides. Because 1/64, and that will be given 1/4. Press your calculator. Now, if you get 1/4 now, what we are now looking for, because the question says compute the sum to infinity, we know our A, we know our R. Now, sum to infinity formula is simply what? A over 1 minus r. That is the formula to use for sum to infinity. We know our a here. We already calculated our r here. So why not combine the two information and get your answer? So this one now give us what? 16 divided by what? 1 minus 1 over 4. So that will give us what? 16 divided by what? This division by, this is 1 over 3 over 4, which is same as divided by 3 over 4. So our answer becomes what? 16 times what? 4 over what? 3. And the answer will now give us what? 64 over what? 3. You can check your answer in decimal. What do you have in decimal? 21.3333. You can put it like this. Bar. It is the same thing as what? 21.333. It means that the 3 is repeating itself. And put it on top like this. So that is the next question. We want to solve the third question. He said if sine A equal to 4 over 5 and A is obtuse, find sine 2A. Now, if A is obtuse, meaning that it's in the second quadrant. And according to what? The rules of what? Of trig. In the second quadrant, sine is positive. Cos is negative. And tan is what? Negative. But all are positive here. Sine is positive. Cos is positive. And tan is what? Positive here. So in this case now, since sine is positive, it does not affect our result. Now, but you must know that sine 2a can be written as what? Sine A plus what? A. A plus A is 2a. And according to the rule of trig, if we have sine A plus B is equal to what? Sine A cos A cos B rather plus what? Sine B cos what? A. That is the formula to use. But fortunately for us, we have A, B as A. So they are the same thing. You understand now? So since B is A now, that means in place of B, we put what? As A. So in fact, we are going to have it as what? Sine A cos what? A plus what? Sine A again, Abi? Yes, now because our B is A now, have you forgotten? Then we now be what? Cos what? A. Now if you have the two of them together, it now give us what? That means what? That means you are working with sine A plus A. That's what you are working with. It's the second stage. So in that, which is simple as sine 2A now, Abi? Because A plus A is what? 2A. Then if you can, these two are the same thing if you look at them now. AB plus BA is still the same thing as AB plus AB now, which is equal to 2AB. That's what is happening here. So it's AB plus BA. You understand now? So that is it. So in this case now, we are going to have it as 2 what? Sine A cos A. So that is the formula we are going to apply now to solve our problem. Now, in this case now, cos A sine A times 2 is equal to sine 2A. But remember, if I draw it diagonal like this, look at the board. This is equal to what? Let's say this is A now, for instance. Now, if it is sine A now that we are looking for, sine A should be what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. Now, so if I want to find this is opposite now. And here is hypotenuse. So if I want to find, let's say I want to find sine A of this one now, that be what? 4 over what? 5, because it's what? Opposite over what? Hypotenuse. Well, if I want to find cos A, what do I have? Cos A will now be equal to what? Adjacent, which you can find. How do you find this adjacent now? this hypotenuse, and this opposite. So to find this, you use Pythagoras theory. Hypotenuse what square is equal to opposite square plus what adjacent square. So this one is what 5 square equal to what opposite 4 square plus what adjacent square. So how do you make adjacent square? Something from adjacent square is equal to what 5 square minus 4 square. 5 square is 25 minus 16 is 9. So 9. What is the, if adjacent square is 9, what is adjacent? Therefore, adjacent is equals to what? 3. Abi? So here will be 3. Now, since that is 3, that means adjacent over hypotenuse is your cos. So cos A will now be equal to what? 3 over 1? 5. It's as simple as that. Now, since you have gotten your 3 over 5, as your A. And don't forget that in the second quadrant, cos A will be equal to minus, abi? Because in this place is obtuse region, is acute. So cos A is negative now. So since what A is what obtuse, therefore cos A now is equal to what minus 3 over 5. That's what I want you to get. Is that minus 3 over 5? So let's put it here into this one. So sine 2A will now be equal to 2 times sine A is what is your sine A? 4 over 5 times what is cos A? Minus 3 over 5. And that give us what is minus 12, 24, minus 24 over what? 25. This is your final answer. Thank you. Now I want to solve this next question with number 4. He said the Mover's theorem states that if z equal to r raised to power cos theta plus I sin theta, where I is complex number, then n, that means z equals to r open bracket cos theta plus I sin theta, then n, z raised to power what? N equal to that. Now according to the question, okay, let's be sure of it. The Mover's theorem states that if what? Z is for n, okay, then n for n, then correct it please, then n, okay, then n for any integer, any what? Integer n, comma, command. So correct it. So please for me. Okay. Then for any integer n, for any what? Integer n, z is for n equals dash. Now it's not going to take our time. It's just what? According to the law. If z is for n equals to what? Or z equals to what? R cos theta plus I sin theta. Now, this is a polar form, complex number. Z is by n according to the Mover's theorem, saying that what? We are going to what? Put everything, let's put everything like this. Look at the board. Sin what? Theta. All raised power what? N. That means because they carry n now. That means I take power of n power of z. Now, according to indices, this one will affect this one now. Now be what? R raised by n, open bracket what? Cos theta. It will also affect this one. This one also powered without n. Sin theta all raised by n. Now, this is where the Mover's theorem now says something. Now, this particular one, this one like this, can be written as what? This n will now come to multiply the what? The degree or the argument here. Now be what? R raised by n, open bracket cos what? N theta plus what? I sin what? N theta. So our answer now is now equal to what? Z raised power n equals to what? R raised power n, open bracket, what? Cos what? N theta plus what? I sine n theta, according to what? According to what? De Moivre's theorem. So this is what we have done. So that will be our answer. Thank you. Now we are in the next question. He said if alpha and beta are the root of the equation ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to what? 0. Are the roots of the equation ax squared plus bx plus c. They find the value of alpha over beta plus beta over alpha in terms of a, b, and c. Now what we want to know is that alpha beta first, the product is what? C over a. Please take note of that. Then alpha plus beta is equal to what? Minus b over a. I believe you know this, very important. These are basic knowledge we need for us to try in this question. Now, ax squared plus bx plus c. That means your alpha beta, which is product, is equal to this c over a. Then what is the alpha plus beta sum minus b over a? We know that even this formula, if you want to replace it in terms of this, can be written as what? X squared minus what? Alpha plus beta times x plus what? Alpha beta. You end up, if you put all these values here, put this one here and multiply it, you see have this one back, which is equal to 0. That means this equation in form of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. By the time you substitute this one into minus b over a here, for instance, you put what? X squared minus what? Minus b over a plus what? C over a equal to 0. Minus and minus is plus. Now we have x squared plus what? B over a plus c over a. And there's x here. And then when you multiply all two by a, both sides by a, you end up having what? The equation back. This equation multiplied by. That means that you are on track. That is how to know that your formula is correct. Now, the next thing is to what? Look for this one. Now, alpha over beta plus beta over alpha. What do we do? Let's look for the LCM of this. The LCM is what? Alpha beta. Alpha beta divided by what? Beta will give us alpha. Alpha times alpha will give us alpha squared plus what? Alpha beta divided by what? Divided by the alpha will give us beta. Beta times is what? Beta squared. But remember, recall that what? That alpha squared plus beta squared can be written as what? Alpha plus beta all square minus 2 alpha beta. What I want to do for me is to open up the bracket here. If you open up this bracket, it gives us alpha squared plus 2 alpha beta plus beta squared. And if you remove 2 minus 2 alpha beta from plus 2 alpha beta, it now becomes alpha squared plus beta squared. That's what I show. This one and this one are the same. So they are the same. So we can replace it to what? Alpha plus beta all square minus 2 alpha beta over what? Divided by what? Alpha beta. So what is our alpha plus beta? It is equal to what? Minus b over a minus what? Minus 2 into by that means all square. Thank you. Then minus what? C over a. All divided by what? C over a. Now, if you do that effectively well, now we have what? This one give us what? B square over a square, minus 2c over what? A at the numerator. then divide by what? C over A. Now what we're going to do now is LCM is what? At the numerator is A, abi? So if that is A square, let me put A square. A square is the LCM of A square and A. So A square divided by A square, 1. 1 times what? B square, we have B square. A square divided by A square, by A, rather, we have A. Multiply by minus 2C, minus 2AC, abi? Then divide by what? C over A. So this is what we are having now. Now, for us to what? To get our accurate answer, let us what? Simplify that one. So now be B square over what? Minus 2AC. Divided by A square times. Why is it times? To change the division to what? To multiplication. So A will now go up over what? Over C now, yes, now. So this one will cancel this one. Remaining what? A. So our final answer will now be what? B square minus what? AC all over what? A times C is what? AC. That will have our answer. So you have to be very careful from here down to this place. This is where the confusion will come from. So thank you. We want to solve this next question. It said, what is the range of the value of P? If P x squared plus 3x minus 9 equal to 0 has what? Real and distinct root. That means real and unique root. Now, for you to have real and distinct root or unique root or different root, when you say something is distinct, unique, different, it means that discriminant, which is equal to what? B squared minus 4AC will be greater than 0. Now, if they say this for what? Real and what? And distinct roots. What about if what? D is equal to what? B squared minus 4AC equal to what? 0. When distinct root is equal to 0, what does that mean? Or when, discriminant is equal to 0, it means that what? The root is what? Is real and equal roots. Please take note of that. So anytime your D discriminant equal to what? B squared minus 4AC less than 0. What does that mean? It means the root is what? Root what is imaginary root. That means imaginary root. Imaginary what? Root. That means they are complex root. You understand what I'm saying now? Then the next thing you must know, if they say real root, they don't mention whether equal or this thing. You just say, they say real root, D is equal to what? B squared minus 4AC is what? Just greater and equal to what? 0. They say real root. This is for real root. This one is not too common. So anytime you mention real root, you should know what it means. If they said what? Equal root, you know what it means. Real and equal root. So that is the discriminant equal to 0. Now when they say imaginary root, you know what it is. So now let's solve. This one will now be what? Let's go straight to the point. Our P x squared plus 3x minus 9 equal to what? 0. So what we're going to do simply is to what? Choose our value, comparing to what? AX squared plus what? Let me change my marker, sorry. That, okay? Bx plus C is equals to what? 0. Now, A is what? P. By comparison, B is 3. And C is equals to what? Minus what? 9. So, since we are saying the real and what distinct truth. B square, my discriminant constant, becomes what? Greater than or equal to 0, or greater than 0 rather. So B is what? What is B? 3 square minus 4 what? P times what? Times minus 9 is greater than 0. So what do we have now? After 9 minus times minus is plus, 4 times 9 is 36p, greater than what? 0. So we make P the subject of formula. So 36p is greater than minus 9. When you take plus 9 to the other side. So the Bible said by what? 36p to make P stand alone. So therefore our P is what? Greater than minus 1 over what? 4. That's what I want to have, minus 1 over 4. P is greater than minus 1 over 4. But 9 divided by 36 is what? 36, 9 going 36 is 4. 9 here 1. So minus 1 over 4. Now we want to solve this one now. Say for what value of theta is y equal to tan theta? Undefined. If 0 is less than equal to theta less than equal to pi, that means the interval is defined within this 0 to what? 180. Now, what you want to know is that for a particular angle to be undefined, it means that it must be 1 over what? 0. The function y must be equal to y 1 divided by 0. And don't forget which is equals to what? Tan theta now. Now, because the 1 over 0 is undefined. Anytime the denominator gives you 0, is what? Undefined. Now, but they have given us a value of range for which we should do that for. Now, from 0 to 180. Now, if you check now, the press tan 0 is 0. Then let's take it to what? Tan 180, which is what? Tan 180, which is tan pi. Tan pi is equivalent to tan 180. Tan 180 is same thing as what? Sine 180 over cos what? 180. And sine 180 is what? What? 0. Cos 180 is what? Minus 1, which is give us what? 0 normally. Now, that means that this from here to this place, 0 and pi are not the answer. If you check the options, we have what? Tan pi over 2, which is same thing as what? Pi is 180, so divided by 2 is 90. So tan 90 is according to 3, it's equal to what? Degree is equal to sine 90 over cos 90 degree. So what is sine 90 is what? 1. Cos 90 is what? 0. It's not looking undefined now. Look at it. I told you that 1 over 0 is what? Undefined. So this one can be an option for us to consider. Let's see the C side. Now C is what? 180 is pi. 180 divided by 3 is what? 60. So tan 60 degree is equivalent to what? Sine 60 over cos 60 degree. Sine 60 degree is 3 over 2. Then cos 60 degree is 1 over 2, which is same thing as what? 3. And that cannot be, that one is not undefined. This is 180 now. 180 times 2 is what? Is 360. 360 divided by 3 is what? 120. Check it. It's 120. And 120 degree is same thing as what? Sine 120 degree over what? Cos 120. Sine 120 degree is equivalent to what? Sine 60 degree. How? 180 minus 120 equals 60. Then this one is what? Equivalent to minus cos 60 degree. Why is minus there? 180 minus 120 is 60, but 120 fall in the second quadrant where cos is what? Minus sign. That's why. So you are going to have root 3 over 2 divided by minus 1 over 2. And then you are going to have minus root 3. which is minus 1.7321. You press your calculator, and 120 will give us minus 1.7321. Now confirm it. So this one can never be answered. This one can never be answered. This one can never be answered. So answer is what? B. Now we are in the next one now. So what is the value of cos, open bracket, tan inverse of root 3, close bracket, for angle that lies in the interval 0 to pi over 2, that is 180. Now that means between 0 and 180. Now first of all, let's write cos what? Tan inverse of what? Root 3. Now let's what? Theta equal to what? Tan inverse of what? Root 3. So for us to make what? Theta the subject of formula, or let's say, okay, tan theta is equal to what? Root 3. Now, if you say tan theta equal to root 3, normally, that means for tan theta to be equal to root 3, and it lies between 0 and 180, it means that this must be what? 60 degree. That means theta must be what? 60 degree. For you to work, because tan 60 degree is what? Root 3 over 1. So which is 1.7321. So that means therefore theta is equal to what? 60 degree. That's what it means. Now you now put what? This 60 degree here now to replace this one, because everything here, I say let everything here be equal to theta. So I want to have it as what? Cos what? 60 degree will now be equal to what? Will now be equal to 1 over 2, because it's the same thing as what? Sin 60 degree over what? No, sorry, talking about tan. Okay, so this is now be what? 0.5, which is 1 over 2. So cos 60 is what? 1 over 2. So the answer to this question now is what? 1 over 2. Now, we want to solve this problem. We said if the tangent of an angle is negative, that means tan theta, let's say the angle theta is negative, and its secant, that means sec theta, is what? Positive. Don't forget that a secant is what? Sec theta is equivalent to 1 over cos theta. So that means that the cos theta of that angle is also what? Positive. That's what it means. For secant to be what? Positive. That means the cos theta is also positive. Anytime that cosecant, cosec is positive, then sine will also be positive, because cosec theta is equal to 1 over sine theta. So they are going together. So anytime your cosecant is positive, sine will be positive. Anytime your cosec is negative, sine will be negative. Anytime sec is positive, cos will be positive. Anytime it's negative, it will also be negative. Then anytime your tan theta is negative, then cos will also be what? Negative, because they are what? Inverse of each other, although the sign works together. Now, for us to have cos to be positive, which quadrant out of the 4 quadrants? We have 2 positions where cos is positive. In the first quadrant, and in the what? In the last quadrant. We say all students talk what? Cash. That is, you remember, all students talk what? Cash. So that means cos here is what? Is positive also here. It's also positive here. But among these two now, we have the first and the fourth. In which of the quadrant is tan negative? That will decide our answer. Because we have 2 challenges now. The challenge is that the first quadrant cos is positive. The fourth quadrant cos is also positive. But in these 2 quadrants, which of them is tan negative? That is the question. So tan is positive here because all of them are what? Positive now. But tan is what? Negative here. So that means the answer is what? Fourth what? Quadrant. So it's only in fourth quadrant we are going to see cos to be positive, tan to be negative, and sec equal to what? Positive. Because opposites what? They are working hand in hand. I told you before. So that is the answer. It is going to be fourth quadrant to be the answer. So